Yo boys, what is up? What's up gamers? Today we got a very long overdue video. Does that look familiar? It should, because everyone fucking knows who they are at this point. Let's talk about it. I am very sorry, LDY, that it has taken me this long. TLDR, I'm a bad person. But let's get into this. So let's start off with the trainer. I think I paid $85 for this. I think is how much it was, which is a great deal. That's probably one of the biggest things about the Orion 1.5 is the price is just wild. Like, it's so cheap for how good it is. Now, mine has developed tap, but mine's also a little beat up. It's definitely got some damage to it. I have been very much abusing it. I wanted to see how it would handle it. It does take it, pretty well, I won't lie. Handle play is still relatively minimal. There's not a ton of handle play, but it does tap. Oh, not right now, I guess. It just wiggles. It used to tap. That's a new development, actually. It doesn't tap right now. Yeah, shit. Alright, cool. I wasn't even expecting that, because normally it does tap, but yeah, I guess right now it doesn't feel like it. Very bouncy. Now, take how this one sounds with a grain of salt, because 1, it's beat. 2, totally dry. I have not oiled this thing since I got it, and I've been flipping it daily. It is very dry, but it does flip very good like this, so that's just how it's going to stay. I love the Orion 1.5. I legitimately think this is the best Bali of 2023. And I say that with complete confidence. For those of you who know, whenever people try and ask me oh, what's my favorite Bali? What's the best Bali? What's, just trying to give an overall what is a super good knife objectively. There hasn't really been one that has usually been a really good, easy go-to answer. The best answer I had before was just a Tanto Kraken, because everyone likes them, you know what I mean? But the only thing that held it back from being a great answer was that it's still kind of pricey. Then this came along. And now this is the best answer I could ever give someone. If someone goes, hey, I'm getting into Balis, what should I buy? Orion. You should buy an Orion. It's $10 more than a Volp. And yes, while you don't get oil and you don't get, your T10 and you don't get all that other shit with the Volp, which, I understand it is a very good starter kit for newer flippers, and I understand it. You're not getting as good of a flipper. It's going to be something that you're going to peak with. You know what I'm saying? There is a plateau with the Volp. There's only so much it can do. There's only so much it can teach you, and it really does limit you on quite a few things. So, with that in mind, I don't know. I don't see a reason why not to encourage someone to buy one of these and then buy a $20 Weehaw set. It has the momentum that, a newer flipper would want. It does fan very well, unlike a Volp, because Volps were not exactly fan machines, but even though it fans really good, it still does rollovers super well. 0 Gs. No problem. You know what I'm saying? Everything you want this knife to do, it just does it. Especially the trainer. In my opinion, the trainer is peak. It's just so fucking good. It does everything I want it to do with ease. The handles aren't too skinny or too big. They're honestly on the smaller side. If you've ever handled a Tsunami, they're kind of similar feeling. In terms of the fact that they're a little bit thin, the kind of roundness that's to them. It's not a very thick knife. Even the Kraken feels a little bit chunky compared to the Orion. There you go. But it's not exactly because of the size. It's mainly this chamfer on the side that makes it feel like it has such a skinny profile. But it's just a very comfortable knife. It does everything you want it to do with ease, right? It fans, it does rollovers, it does aerials, parabolics. It's a very predictable flipper. Also doesn't have Kraken syndrome though, which is a little bit strange. And that's because it's, again, we've talked about it before, but this does have a neutral bias type of, flipping experience. If you watched my Stitch review, I said it there, but the Stitch has that neutral bias feel, right? All of the weight's at the tip of the blade and at the tip of the handles. The Orion is the same way, but better in my opinion. So why is the Orion better than the Stitch, right? In my opinion, again, let me just put it out there, this is not an objective take. One is the length. I don't really like longer handles, as I said in that video. The floatiness is kind of not my thing. But there are other neutral bias knives that aren't super long, right? Like the TF2 Atropo Spy. That one does have a neutral bias as well. Super great flipper. A little bit too thin, a little bit too blocky, and the hardware sticks out to where it's uncomfortable. This doesn't have that problem. And this doesn't have many screws either. It's just 2, 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very simple construction. I just really like the Orion. I can't even say this is like a bias thing because I bought the trainer. I actually paid for this one with my own money when they first got announced because I was like, that looks amazing. It looks so good. And I was like, I need to get one. So first drop, I made sure I got my nice little dual tone pink trainer. And I cannot stress enough how much of a worthwhile purchase it was. I think that this is like one of the best Balis you could buy, even getting rid of the fact that the price is what it is. Now from that, LDY did send me the live blade. And the live blade is very nice. It is a super, super good flipper. But it's not as good, in my opinion. It's a little more handle bias. It does still fan great, as you can see, right? Fans are still super even, like no problem, right? Everything looks super smooth still. It's not that this is a worse flipper by any means, right? Like, it's not bad. It still flips amazing. And also the sound. Like, it sounds great. And that's a lot closer to what your Orion would sound like. Even if you got the trainer, that's just more what they sound like out of box when they're not dry and beat to all hell. So they do sound amazing if you don't treat them like shit like I do. I like the live blade. The live blade is great. It is a fantastic flipper. I mean, by all means, if you are more of a live blade enjoyer than a trainer enjoyer, you will still get a ton of great flipping experience out of the Orion. Not to say that the live blade is bad, I promise you. I'm not trying to say that at all. However, I do prefer the trainer. I think the trainer flips much better. I think that the momentum that you get from the trainer and like the experience you get from it is just way more suited. Like, it feels like the trainer was designed first, if that makes sense. It just flips so good. And the live, again, great flipper. It's slight handle bias, all the rollovers are super sticky, like no problem, right? But it just doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't have that same feel as the trainer. If you wanted a cheap, really good live blade, you know, something that could still flip really well, but also still be a great EDC, this is perfect. Like, the edge on it is super sharp. It's still very lightweight. It's not a very, like, big profile, so it'd fit in your pocket very nice. It's essentially just like a better Kershaw Lucha in the fact that, like, it will sit in your pocket very nice, but unlike the Lucha, this will actually flip really well. Yeah, no, I love the Orion. Honestly, the Orion is probably, like, the best Bali that has come out all of 2023. I legitimately think that, like, it's gonna be tough to top this. Like, in the past, there have been a lot of times where it's like, oh, you know, this is the new best budget Bali, blah, 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 blah. And then like a couple months later, there's going to be something else that comes out. That's crazy. Like, the whole Amazon Bali boom that's happened is crazy. Like, there's actually some decent trainers on there now, unlike how it used to be with just a bunch of fucking garbage that was thrown on there. I just don't see this being beat. I really don't. I don't see any company making a knife this competent for this price range. I don't know. Like, LDY definitely cut like every corner they could. The box it comes in is the tiniest that I've ever seen from LDY, right? You open the box, right? You get your little phone. You get a little like pendant anime waifu thing instead of like their usual cards, which is, you know, I imagine probably cheaper. And then you get a little baggie like that with of your hardware, right? So it's not like the what was it? The Sirius that came with like the little fucking jar for the hardware, or like it not coming in like the big fucking carrying case or anything like that. And I don't have a problem with that at all. Like, I think most people don't even use them. Like, those little carrying cases are cool. Don't get me wrong. They're cool for, like, little travel if you wanted to bring, like, 2 or 3 Balis and, like, lube and hardware and whatever. Like a little Torx driver. But you don't need it. And most people already have cases. So I don't really see a reason why not, right? So now you just get a knife for cheaper with great quality still. I don't know. There's no complaints. Like, I don't really have any negative thing to say about the Orion 1.5. It is the closest to being, like, the highest recommendation that I could give, just without knowing your preferences, without knowing what you're looking for. I can tell you that you probably want Orion. I don't think anyone would be disappointed by owning one of these. They're just so good. And it's not like you're breaking the bank either, you know? $85 for a trainer. That's not much more expensive than a Volt. So, in my opinion, I think this is one of the best Balis on the market, period. Flipping wise, it's fantastic. Value wise, it's pretty much unbeatable. And it's from a maker I like. I like LDY. I like LDY a lot, honestly. Maybe I'm a little biased, I don't know, but I really do. I love LDY's products. I honestly stand by them. They make some great stuff. I would love to get my hands on a Bowie Cygnus one day. You know, the V2 blade Bowie. I would love to get one of those someday. They flip so good. I just realized I've just kind of been rambling for like 15 minutes, so that's my bad. I don't know if I've really said anything of substance. Slight handle bias, really good flipper, great tolerances, blah, 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 blah. Like, no handle play at all. Like, that's pretty much what you're gonna get from them. Not even a wiggle. Like, that's just how it's going to be out of box. That's just LDY for you. Their tolerances are always super, super tight. And then, again, after a little bit of beating, you only get a little bit of handle play. Again, live blade, slight handle bias. The trainer is very neutral bias. There's a weight system. You can put a pin in the bottom for add weight, but I don't do that for either of them. I have it without the weights. I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot else to say, to be honest with you. Like, it's just one of those things where, like, I recommend it heavily. I recommend this to anyone. If you like to flip, or you want to get into flipping, buy an Orion. Buy an Orion V1.5. The V1 was a little bit strange. It had a couple of little issues here and there, but this is just different. Dude, the V1.5 is just different. This is so good. Go buy one of these. Go buy an Orion V1.5. Go buy one. You will not regret it. I promise you, wholeheartedly. You will not regret buying one of these. For a rating, I would give the live blade a 8 out of 10, and the trainer, I'm giving a 9.5 out of 10. This fucking thing is just, it's so good. It's like the closest I could get to a 10. Like, this is sitting next to my Kraken. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of knives that are not leaving my collection, like, it's neck and neck. Like, I don't think I could ever get rid of an Orion. And if I do, it's because I'm going to get another one later. I don't know if I really said anything of substance. They're also really good at tech, at like whatever kind of flipping you like to do, whether it be tech flipping, mainly rollovers, aerials, whatever, like, it'll do it, and it'll do it really well. I don't know. I don't really have a lot else to say. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's just only positive things. Get one yourself, you know, like, check it out for yourself if you don't believe me. Like, I promise you, it is a great knife. It is a great knife. Sorry if I didn't really say everything correctly. I don't know. I tried my best. I always try my best. So, thank you, boys. I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. More content coming soon. I'm making shit, I promise. So, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching. It's the Orion and the other Orion. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, and shout out to Zero Dexterity for doing the handle swap with me. Goated. Thank you. But yeah, that's about it, boys. And also thank you for LDY to sending me the live blade. But thank you, LDY, for just making good shit. So yeah, see ya.